Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some more Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord news. Today we're going to dive in and basically take a look at everything that's been going on with Bannerlord modding over the past 3-4 months. This video is basically designed for those of you out there who are obviously really interested in all the major mod overhauls that are coming to Bannerlord, but basically just can't spare the time to go ahead and constantly check ModDB, constantly check Nexus mods. Well, don't you fret, that is exactly what I am here for. And I thought today I would go ahead and make this video to basically let you know about some of the latest news we've got with the major overhaul mods like Kingdom of Arda, like the Amazing Japan mod, let you know about any new releases that have recently just gone ahead and hit Nexus mods / the workshop, and then finally also let you know about some of the returning mods that have actually just recently popped up as well. I'll make sure I leave timestamps down below for every single mod I talk about so you can jump ahead if that's something, there's a specific mod you're really interested in. And of course, if you haven't already, please do consider dropping a like and a comment down below. It helps out massively with the algorithm, and of course subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more videos like this in the future. But let's kick things off with a brand new release. So this brand new update for the Old Realms, this is the Warhammer Fantasy mod, has just hit the workshop. This is currently for the beta 1.2 of Bannerlord, which at the end of the video maybe I'll show you how to install. It's super easy and you can revert back at any time to the current patch. But in this update we get a brand new faction. Bretonia is the latest addition. So as of right now, we have Beastman minor factions, we have Chaos minor factions, we have the Empire with about 4 or 5 Elector counts, we have the Vampire counts, led by, of course, Manfred von Karstein, and then we also have now the Bretonians, but not only that, we also have Musalon as well, which has that vampiric taste to it. So if you want to kind of play more of an evil Bretonian, like Black Grail Knight or something, that is something you can do. This update also comes with brand new scenes for a lot of the castles. I think there's about 4 or 5 new castle scenes. They also have added in their brand new career mode, which is a completely separate way to level up your character, and it's really interesting and lore friendly, and you can get some insane bonuses for your army, for your character on the campaign map in battles. It's honestly just a really cool additional system. Alongside that, this update has also brought in religion, so you can now pray to the certain gods of the Warhammer world. Chaos is in there doing all nefarious stuff. The mod has random events, new tournament scenes. Yeah, it's a big update. Definitely go check it out. You can play it right now, as I said, and it's of course on the workshop. Next we have the Shokuho mod. This is the Japanese mod set in the 1560s during the Oni Wars, and about a month ago they went ahead and did this massive 4-hour live stream over on their Discord showing off their current progress on the campaign map, on battle scenes actually in a battle, whether it's sieges or land battles. They showed off some naval assets and hinted at naval combat fully being in the game. Next they showed off these awesome duel scenes where you actually can play as kind of like a Ronin moving around taking on these famous fighters across Japan. After that they went ahead and showed us this war camp, which is going to basically allow you to promote soldiers and be your base of operations as you move out into the world. And we even got a glimpse at some of the gunpowder, the cannons and other stuff like that. Honestly, it was so goddamn impressive. I'll leave a link to my overview video of that if that really does pique your interest and you want to see it in a bit more detail. The only downside though was that it was a Discord stream that then got ported to YouTube, so the quality wasn't 100%, but you can definitely still make out everything you want to go ahead and see. And already since there, they've gone ahead and shown even more campaign progress. As of the looks of it right now, they've recently added in the 2 western islands and are now focusing on the mainland of Japan itself, adding in recently the Mori. So honestly, about a third of Japan is currently completed, but of course I imagine the central parts of Japan itself will be very dense, that will require a lot more work. But if the detail on the previous stuff that they've shown is anything to go by, is going to be absolutely glorious. And one thing that I think was really exciting me is the way they were talking about naval combat. They weren't just saying it like, oh yeah, we're just gonna have one ship and then the ships are gonna board and then that's gonna be it. No, they were talking about soldiers individually manning cannons and maneuvering and commanding fleets of ships. Now if they can make that a reality, I'm really excited. Hopefully we'll get to see some gameplay, because that is just so extraordinary when it comes to Bannerlord, something that no one's done quite yet. So I'm hoping that's something that we'll actually get some gameplay on. They'll show some clips or something, and I'll of course let you guys know and show it off on the channel if they're cool with that whenever they do drop it. But yeah, honestly, massive progress on this mod. Definitely want to keep an eye on and just follow up. Again, make sure you join all the mods discords. That's the best way to keep up to date with all of them, outside of course following the channel. So of course we've had a mod that is currently in development with the Japan mod. We have a mod that has recently posted a massive update with the old realms, and now we actually have a returning mod. So the Calradi Expanded and Calradi Expanded Kingdoms has recently just been updated for 1.1.5, and if you're looking to start a new campaign, this is 100% a mod to go ahead and implement and be the main focus around that. The mod itself goes ahead and splits Calradia into several different new kingdoms, each of them with their own unique backstory. Their units go ahead and filter into that backstory. You know, if it is a slaving nation, the units will resemble that. Their lower tiers will be made up of, you know, lowly armored slave units with heavier armor cataphracts. They use the open source armory, which has hundreds, if not thousands of armors and weapons by now to go ahead and fill out and give each faction a very unique feel to it. If you implement something like the diplomacy mod alongside this, you're going to have a really fun experience because there's so more factions, and factions are smaller, they're not as stronger. It creates a much more exciting dynamic than just 6 kingdoms fighting. You know, normally when that happens, if Vlandia fights Sturgium and Britannia beats Vlandia, it's kind of like rock, paper, scissors. And because there's so many more factions, it just goes ahead and, yeah, as I said, makes a much more tastier throwdown showdown. And that's not even to mention the awesome look of Calradi Expanded, which goes ahead and enhances the map, adds in loads more detail with roads, farm, points of interest on mountainsides and in forests. It also adds in islands and some paths to move ships through one side to another. And honestly, going back to playing vanilla, it does feel really weird when I can't just go across from the Empire to the Azerai lands. An absolute must-use mod in any of your campaigns. And hopefully when 1.2 does come out of beta, it will get updated for it quite quickly, because I would be very interested in starting a new campaign on that. I also want to really quickly touch on dellarte-della-guerra, the English Civil War mod. Again, I'm sure my perfect pronunciation of that, just you already knew what I was talking about. But this mod hasn't really posted too much recently. They're obviously extremely hard at work, but they have been posting some screenshots that if you haven't been keeping up to date with the mod over the past couple months, you might have missed. They have this amazing looking cathedral. It's actually beautiful. Like, I was actually gobsmacked when I saw it. Now, I don't think this is in engine yet, so I think when they post it in engine, Bannerlord will deteriorate the quality a bit, but still, even still, like, it looks insane, and this is just by far one of the most beautiful icons we've ever got to see. They're really going hard, as you'll see through all the images on your screen right now, on just making every settlement feel unique and interesting and beautiful. And I can't tell you how much time this must actually take, because yeah, they've done a lot of major cities so far, and each of them just look incredible, and I can't wait to fight and die over each and every one of them as I pledge my sword to the king. Next on the agenda, we of course have to talk about Kingdoms of Arda, and Council of the Ring, aka Macbeth, recently posted a very interesting video talking about the development. If you guys don't know, he is one of the developers of the mod, and I'll leave a link to his video down below in the description if you guys want to go check it out. Of course, make sure you subscribe to him. I'm sure he'll post plenty more Arda stuff in the future. But in this video, he details, is Kingdom of Arda dead? And of course, the answer is no. Kingdom of Arda is not dead. In this video, they detail a few things that they're currently working on. They talk about, is the mod dead? They talk about what's currently being made, along with when the first release will come out, and also that trailer that they kind of hinted at, but we never heard anything from. So of course, the mod is not dying, it's not dead, it's not being cancelled, it's being hard at work. They're currently working on Minas Tirith, Minas Morgul, Osgiliath, and also the surrounding fiefs and towns of Gondor. They actually got some really awesome, or they went ahead and completed some really awesome Gondorian architecture, which is going to allow them to really fill out these maps much quicker now. And then he later goes on to talk about how, you know, with Kingdom of Arda, it is a project that they really want to release and it feel a lot more complete. They could simply release armors and weapon packs, but that's not something that they're really shooting for. And go on to basically talk about, you know, when they do finally drop the release version of the mod, they want people to be able to dive into it, get lost and immersed in these amazing settlements, battles with custom events and mechanics. And of course, that does just simply take time. Making a completely different experience from vanilla Bannerlord isn't simply a stone throw away. So yeah, the mod is heavily being worked on. They've also said as well that they're not really working on that trailer anymore. They just simply don't have the time, which is again understandable. I think people would much rather them just put more and more time onto the project itself, even though seeing a trailer would be extremely cool. Of course, though, the actual project itself and getting that more complete is, of course, the main priority. Macbeth also goes on to talk about how he's going to continue make maybe a few more faction videos as well for the mod so you can get a better idea, and he also has tons of them on his channel, which are, of course, worth checking out, alongside his other kind of Lord of the Rings lore-inspired videos. So basically, the short answer, King Arda, of course, is not dead, heavily being worked on, and progress is being made. They just don't like to show stuff off as often as maybe some other modders, but, you know, don't take that as a bad sign whatsoever. And I'm sure we'll see more stuff in the future. Another mod I want to quickly go ahead and mention as well is Ancient Civilizations. This mod recently just released, I think earlier on in the week, and is basically a massive armor and weapon pack for anywhere from antiquity all the way up to the 2nd century AD. The mod itself has a whole wealth of armors from Romans to Greeks to barbarians, which is really cool. I think we've been really desiring a very high-end Greek armor pack for some time, so it's great to see that being released right here. I think if you go ahead and couple this alongside something like My Little Warband, you could create a very, very cool looking hoplite wall, an army of Greeks, Macedonians, and honestly, it's just a really, really cool little armor pack that I thought I'd definitely mention in this video. I think finally we'll just talk about the co-op mod really quickly, because I know that's a mod that people are heavily anticipating, the mod that allows you to play single player but in multiplayer with a friend. And as of right now, I think so far they've currently been testing out the arena syncing and battles, as well as the tavern battles and syncing. I think there is going to be a test later on down the line, or fairly soon in the near future, in quotation marks, where they're going to be testing out more of the campaign, actual campaign map syncing and stuff. But the mod is still chucking along. It is still very much active and definitely worth keeping an eye on. It's of course a mod that, you know, it takes tons of resources to go ahead and create, and they are doing an amazing job. So I'm really excited to hopefully see this mod take its next big leap into finally being complete. And that's gonna go ahead and do it for today's video. They're all the mods I wanted to talk about. Of course, I'll leave a link to all their discords down below in the description if they have them. And if you are a modder yourself with skills and any of these mods have piqued your interest, I'm sure all of them are looking for new members to go ahead and help out. Many of them will have like a recruitment page that you can go ahead and check out and maybe see if your skills go ahead and fit what they're looking for. But that will do it. So if you guys enjoyed, drop a like, drop a comment, really helps out, and I'll see you all in the next one.